Hi folks, this is Steve Tyson. Just letting you know that my brand new album, Banjo's Last Ride, has just been released. It's a band record, Steve Tyson and the Trainwrecks, recorded with my touring band, which was very exciting, a lot of fun, and really happy that it's out there now. We recorded the album here in my studio in the Byron Bay hinterland. Very different approach to what I've done in the past. Previously, my first couple of albums, in the studio and brought in different players to play different instruments and a lot of friends and that sort of thing. My last album, Wrong Train, Right Station, it was a DIY thing. I played every instrument myself, so something I needed to do. But this one was a very different approach. I just loved playing with my band, my touring band, for the last few years, and so I brought them into the studio to record all of the rhythm tracks and with a lot of live recording. And they just, did an amazing job. Brought this real energy to the songs, which I hope you can hear.
Searching for the Berlin bunker, have to find the Berlin bunker. Maybe I'm obsessed, but I don't really care.
The first single we released was called Berlin Bunker. I was in Berlin a few years ago, and I had this fascination with trying to find, the bunker where Hitler spent the final days of the war. Just seeing it on so many documentaries and reading about it in books, and I never realised until I went searching for it that it's no longer there. The German government and the people decided they didn't want to leave any memorial to the madman or some place where future fanatics could come and honour him, so they demolished it and in its place put this very nondescript car park. And the song's about my journey, just very tongue-in-cheek, trying to find the car park.
You could meet me in the morning. You could meet me in the night. And if you choose to tell your husband, baby, we'll be running for our lives.
The second track, the second single, Gare du Nord, also a European flavoured song. I wrote that sitting in Europe's busiest railway station. Lots of people around, and I was watching this young couple who were having this discussion. They were obviously very much in love, but you could tell it was a precarious love, a dangerous love. They were trying to make a decision, and they were speaking in French, but I could understand bits of the conversation. And anyway, that inspired this particular song called Gare du Nord.
She said, truth so hard to find. He said, don't be so colorblind. Just reach for what's inside your heart.
About some of the other tracks, a song called Colorblind, a love song basically, a song about loving somebody and they might not reciprocate it. I did a version of a song called The Walls of Derry, one of the most loved songs by my longtime band Rough Red. The lyrics written by my good friend John Fegan. A wonderful story, powerful story about the time we actually spent in Derry during the Troubles and an incident that happened there. And I'd been playing that song live myself, so I just wanted to do a version with the band, so I was very happy to include that one on the record too.
In 1688, the boys' clang shut the iron gate, locked outside the Catholic prince. They've been fighting ever since. Watchers in the barbed wire tower, on the wall look down and glower. Even they must have their doubts. Does it keep them in or keep them out?
On this record there's very much a blues influence, something that's not really been apparent in my stuff before. I'm I guess traditionally been a folk singer-songwriter or crossing over to the country thing perhaps, roots music. But I've been listening to a lot of old blues albums, and I love William Blake, and I love the poem A Poison Tree, and that poem had been put to music by a lot of people over the years, mainly in the folk tradition. But I sort of heard it as a blues. So we did this version of that song called Blues for William Blake, which turned out really well. Also on the record there's a single we released a couple of years ago, a song called You Picked a Fine Time. This one's just pure fun. I mean, I had this line and this riff in my head for 10 years. I'd walk around singing it to myself while I was, doing the dishes or putting the rubbish out. And one day I thought I should try and find it. I couldn't. And I thought it was a song by one of those obscure 60s bands like the Feelgoods or like the Bo Brummels.
Tell me that you care. You picked a fine time to tell me you love me. Would be a fine time if only I was there.
There's a bunch of whole new tracks, of course. Look, we had a great time making this record. Just want to say thank you to my band, the Trainwrecks, a great bunch of players and guys. John Barr, my bass player of something like 40 years, one of my dearest friends. Andy Kirkcaldy, who I first played with in the 70s, another old mate, a great drummer from Sydney. My guitar player Sal, Ian Shaw-Smith, wonderful player, wonderful evocative slide playing, beautiful notes. And the latest addition to the band, Jodie Murtha. Jodie plays wonderful keys, beautiful voice, and brings a whole new dimension to the live band as well. So there you go, folks, that's it. Banjo's Last Ride, it's out there now. I really hope you enjoy it. Go get yourself a copy. Thanks a lot. Cheers.